I was kind of late because I was with my grandma, so yeah. And now the Panthers, I think the pick is in for them, so can't wait. All right. Hey, what's up? What's up? And look like the pick is in. All right, all right, Roger. All right, Dave. Let's see what you got. Hey, Ford. What's up? What's up? Okay. Hmm. Yeah, we got a receiver. Good job, Dave. Good job. I got it. I can hold him. Yeah, this is a good pick for us. We should have a nice weapon for Bryce Young. Even though we could need a linebacker. Mhm. Mm, that's a good pick for Dan Morgan. All right, so the Giants got Cam, Cam Ward. Jaguars got Travis Hunter. Shoot, can't see through the chat. So I'm so glad for us. I'm so happy. We got Tacoria McLean, wide receiver, Arizona, which is a good pick. Okay, Giants got Jalen Carter, and Patriots got Will Campbell. That for Tom Grassi to stream yours. Hey, thank you for watching me. I appreciate it. This is my first ever live stream. Well, I'm pretty grateful, for all the hard work I put in, and I'm pretty thankful for y'all for watching all my videos. And yeah, I'm so grateful for y'all. So thank you. All right, so the Saints are now on the clock. Um, so question on the chat: who do you think the Saints are going to select in this draft? I think the Saints kind of need like a quarterback since I heard Derek Carr got hurt. That's what I would choose, a quarterback. Right? Oh, shoot, you play volleyball? Quarterback or wide receiver? I do agree. I do agree with that those options. I did say quarterback because Derek Carr got hurt. No. Yeah, yeah, wide receiver because Chris Olave got hurt again. Sanders could be. their option. It could be their options.
That was about to get really, really nasty there. All right, I had speculated. Who am I? Hey, maybe Carolina would try
Let
to
me
do that.
just
Maybe
maybe just okay. So basically, I kind of moved in my new
there's
house
been so much speculation about what the Saints
right now. So in case some of y'all are wondering,
or offensive minded coach now takes over.
I have a nice
What's the
little
direction that this
helmet collection,
could be? You know, let's
and yes, I'm gonna show y'all.
so you got a potential tackle sitting there in Kelvin Banks. And that would I know that
All right, it seems like the Saints will lock. Yep, they're locking the pick. They're locking the pick.
Jalon Walker's now on the board.
They could draft Shadur.
You have some defensive ends that you can take a look at. You know, Jalon Walker's kind of in that Zach Vaughn mode. If you really want to know the truth, it didn't work out there, but it sure worked out in Philadelphia. You're for a linebacker and edge.
My mom told me that Mark Andrews is going to come to the Panthers. Really?
Very close situation without knowing it.
Really?
You just wonder how do you
I don't believe it, but if he really comes to the Panthers, I would be happy. Be happy. Here we go. Here we go. All right, the pick is in. The pick is in.
With the ninth pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr.
Oh wow.
Texas.
So then didn't draft a receiver or a quarterback. They decided to get a tackle from Texas. Wow.
Yeah, and I tell you what, one of my favorite game of his was his freshman season when he went up against Will Anderson, Shep Will Anderson.
Wow.
I was at that game in Austin, and it was really,
Y'all
really
saying L pick in their own chat. That's crazy.
I think he's kind of stagnated.
All right, so Kelvin Banks is a New Orleans Saint now.
He can really get into blocks with some force. He strains through contact as a run blocker. We voted them into one of the. They were one of our finalists in the Joe Moore Awards for the best offensive line in you know, college football. One of the reasons is because this guy Kelvin Banks did such a good job of run blocking. I thought for that offense. Now in pass protection, there are some holes. He didn't have a long time either, and sometimes he's a little too passive. He lets the pass rushers lucky get into him and he catches them and goes. You can't catch. You know, he's not a puncher. Will Campbell is a puncher. He's a catcher. You can't do that with long arm guys. Dude, the only thing about Kevin Banks, we can talk about that. We can talk about.
Who's the next on the clock? Is it
And when you're looking at the position, when you're looking at the team and the sight line stuff.
and the Bears?
Because Kevin Moore, as much as he was able to run
The defense is already kind of good football.
And so you have to have a premier pass protector to be able to do it. Kelvin Banks Jr. has the footwork and the athleticism and the agility to be able to kind of be that dancing bear that can shadow ball to me. All right, you mentioned his time, obviously, most recently winning the Super Bowl with the Eagles. I'll take it even a step back. Dallas Cowboys. How do you think that those moments and those experiences shape this pick here? I think.
Yep, the Bears are next. I guarantee it. Like what?
You know that the offensive line is everything.
All right, Chicago.
If your quarterback
got a lot of offensive weapons, so I guarantee y'all should pick a defensive player.
Right now for a very special announcement from Colin and Will Rutledge. There's our colleague Colin Wolf.
For you, live from the heart of the NFL draft right here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's right, Colleen. The schedule release marks a pivotal moment in the NFL calendar. It sets the stage for a thrilling season. Yeah, this is where we get to geek out over every single game and 5 weeks.
Oh, the schedule release.
Those late season divisional things that end up deciding playoff spots. And who's playing at Lambeau in December? We're going to have to find out. You'll find out soon, okay? How about these rookies, the players who are drafted here tonight? When and where do they make their NFL debuts? We're going to find that out as well. Let's not forget the expanding lineup of international games as well as Christmas, Thanksgiving Day. There's so many captivating matchups. It's the best. Yes, because nothing says holiday cheer like watching your team destroy another. So, without further ado, everybody get it together, mark your calendar, set your alarms. The schedule will be dropped on May 14th.
Oh, I am not waiting up for that. I'm not waiting that long.
We can't wait. You can tweet it out, tell everybody, and don't miss it. Be sure to check out all the great
You know,
content.
maybe I might wait for that long. Who knows?
Of the thrilling 2025 matchup. May 14th just around the corner. I know. It's basically here at this point. Guys, get ready and buckle up for the greatest season of your lives.
Let's call a spade here. You and I had the same reaction. Take out the phone, start
Yeah,
pushing into the calendar.
Yeah, busy on the 14th.
That's officially on.
While they're yapping and stuff,
Evaluation of
I
the
don't know what to
Chicago
do.
Bears on the clock.
They're gonna watch.
The official pick is going to be.
And the pick is in. The pick is in.
Hey, maybe they move up. They don't. They sit at number 10, and here's the pick.
All right, let's go. All right, Chicago. We all got.
Yesterday, the NFL family lost a true legend, Bears Hall of Famer Steve McMichael.
Wow.
My heart is with the McMichael family during this incredibly difficult time. Steve, please know that you are in our thoughts and prayers. Mongo's remarkable contributions to the game and the community will never be forgotten. His legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. 50 years ago, with the fourth pick in the 1975 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears selected one of Steve McMichael's teammates and closest friend, Walter Payton, running back, Jackson State. Walter would go on to rush for nearly 17,000 yards and 110 touchdowns over 13 seasons, all with the Chicago Bears. As you heard earlier, the NFL continues to honor Sweetness, not only for his performance and excellence on the field,
Never heard that.
but also his commitment to give back to his community with the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award. So with the 10th pick in
All right.
the 2025 NFL Draft,
Sheesh, she's already booing at him.
the Chicago Bears select Colston Loveland,
Wow.
tight end, Michigan.
One of the explosive players of the draft. First time the Bears have taken a first-round tight end since Greg Olsen back in 2007.
Go Blue.
Wow.
Go
So they chose a tight end over a defensive player. Not sure that's a good move.
Like, remember, Ben Johnson come from Detroit when they had Sam LaPorte. Sam LaPorte was a little different coming out of Iowa because he was a pass catching playmaking tight end. This guy can do it all. I have to categorize as a flex tight end, meaning he is a jumbo wide receiver. He can go out in the slot, he can go out wide, he can do all those things. But he still has that Michigan toughness.
All right, Kate. Can one of y'all tell me who's next on the clock?
And as we're building this offense to elevate Kenneth Williams, you have a dominant player over the middle of the field. As a pass catcher, he's a belt timer. I think that what Tyler Warren has it is just barely is the one that carries body type.
I'm surprised he hasn't been selected yet.
Same type of
He's a tight end for Penn State, if some of y'all don't know.
right here. Look at this ability to separate. That's what stands out about Colston Loveland when you watch it. What are you doing? I said, I'm watching Colston Loveland is what I'm doing. This guy's really, really good. I finished with Colston Loveland and I thought, there's not a huge difference between these two players. They're actually different. One's more of a
I can't. Don't have ESPN, so I haven't watched this on YouTube. So,
I remember I remember where I was when I watched.
so sorry for the people who have to watch it during my live stream. So yeah. Oh wow! So we do have a trade. The 49ers took the 11th round pick, and Dallas also have a trade, as y'all can see right here. Alright, I guess we have to be waiting like for 2 minutes, I guess. So lately, while I was gone for a while, moving into my new house, I have I actually have myself a nice Carolina Panthers blanket, by the way. It's nice and new, and I'm pretty thankful for my grandma for giving me this gift. So shout out to her. So the Niners trade whatever pick they had. Wait, trade whatever pick they had, or I don't think they traded a pick. Maybe they had that pick. So the Niners have the 11th round pick. And let's see who they select. And also, can y'all comment which favorite NFL team you like? All right. All right. So we're almost like half a minute to the Niners select their own player. So all right. We're about to come back in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are back.
Back here on Draft Center, presented by FedEx. After line by small camera. The Niners are on the clock. Mid an observation, we're going through some of these selections. Public notice that we haven't had a whole lot of this.
Yeah, that was funny. We talked a couple of draft about the edge class. We went through the class of those that's coming to the draft, and how we expect them to come on board pretty quickly. But what we've seen, we continue to be an offensive draft. Offense got the tight end, players, and those things. So no matter what we talk about,
What do y'all think the Niners going to select? 'Cause I'm not 100% sure what they were going to pick. So
That's what you see this way that it's got.
that's where we got like Dallas, Miami, Indianapolis, and other teams left.
yeah, I mean, they need defensive tackle. I don't know if there's a great fit. Maybe Kenneth Grant here. You have to also remember, Bucky does a great job of this, bringing drawn lines between. I like to usually look at
Bless you.
teams draft with philosophies, and their traits can big like.
So that's why those other ones.
Shemar Stewart, Eric Armstead didn't have a ton of production. He came out either.
It's my first trip, so
They do need defensive line. I'd say that's the thing.
All right, let's find out who the pick is. So,
all right. So the pick is in for the Niners. Ooh,
Hero six members from the United States Army, Marine Corps, and Navy. We're proud to announce that this year we are celebrating our 250th anniversary.
Hmm.
We're grateful for the opportunity to partner with NFL Salute to Service and the USO in
Introducing the San Francisco 49ers 2025 draft pick.
Okay.
With the San Francisco 49ers draft pick. Back to you in Green Bay.
All right. I don't know what. Oh wow.
Thank you to our men and women.
Okay, so that was something. I don't know what they say.
Sacrifices to defend our country's freedom.
Yes, thank you.
With the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, San Francisco 49ers select Mykel Williams,
Wow.
defensive end, Georgia.
You know, I always knew the Niners would pick a defensive player.
Selection is Williams.
I just can't, just don't know what position they'll pick. All right, now Dallas will be on the clock. Let's see what the Cowgirls got to do.
On. This is someone who's raw as a pass rusher, but for them, they don't care because they do a great job of developing their defensive line guys. And when I see him play with power, dynamic off the edge, heavy hands, relentless when it comes to his competitive nature, he does a really good job of just bullying people at the point of attack. And even though he has completely put it together in terms of putting the full repertoire of moves to sequence them to be able to have a signature move and a counter, you can just see that in time, he can develop into a dominant player.
But this is a good pick for the Niners that knowing they're going to another rusher for, you know, for the linebackers because Fred Warner can't do all this by himself. So, yeah.
First of all, you rotate a lot of Georgia, so you don't really get the rhythm a whole lot. So what they want to do, they want to play a lot of players. You watch them lined up as a 5 technique or just a shade out of the over the tackle, the tackle's outside eye. He's not nearly as effective. Most guys aren't. When they allow him to play wider and they let him run wide, all of a sudden, and it's not a lot that they did it, Mike. But when they did that, he really created speed. Howard, he's got a little swipe and step move that is very effective. He flashes it. So he's putting things together. The ingredients are there. The cake is not baked, but the ingredients are all out there on the counter, and he has all the traits that they like. He's got great football character, very high football character.
Yeah, congratulations to the Niners fans for grabbing this player.
30% of his tackles went for losses in his Georgia.
All right.
All right, you guys are telling me about trades. You're saying, hey, it's not a finished product, and that's a good thing. We talk about guys you don't want to see, but makes sense.
No, I think so.
Okay, so
Yeah, I thought the Saints could go Mykel Williams at 9. Shit. Where you can
Well, let me just start with the cap rate later.
And this is one where GM has to
All right,
stay out.
I turned it off. Now I can fully see which team is next or available players will which team can pick.
America's team, Dallas Cowboys on the clock. Here's the pick.
Okay. Let's see what the Cowgirls got to select. It better be a quarterback. Hashtag Dallas up.
With the 12th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Booker,
Tyler,
guard,
wow.
Alabama. I wish your vice.
Okay, they need that too, not gonna lie.
From both Bucky and Lancer line here as they saw Booker.
Yeah, I don't think a guard would be enough. Y'all need a whole roster. Good God dang it, you haven't signed no one in free agency whatsoever.
Absolute bull. And I don't think he's necessarily the most talented guard in the stretch. I think that might be down to Jets. But Tyler Booker is a phenomenal team leader.
But this is also a good pick for the Cowboys.
But the entire team. When things needed to get right, the coaching staff would say, Booker would go to them and say, I'll make sure everything gets right. We get things handled here on the field. You can't.
All right, so yeah, Ty Booker, you're now a Cowboy. Have fun, I guess. All right, so the Dolphins are now on the clock. Indianapolis will be next. So I believe the Dolphins are going to need some type of defensive player, I guess, since we got like Tyree Yeah, Waddle, possibly a running back or the offensive lineman. So that way, Tua Tagovailoa cannot get hurt.
If you're Dallas Cowboys, you lose that part. You have to have a dominant guard to be able to do that. Dallas Booker is a guy that is a gap scheme, friendly player. He wants to come around and knock people on their feet. And when you're the Dallas Cowboys, and the way that you have to close the gap with your competitors, because those guys have more finesse, more explosiveness, you're gonna have to make every game a street fight. And the only way to do that, you gotta be able to play in the phone booth. Dallas Booker loves
All right.
Okay, so do we have answers here? I looked at the last 3 first-round picks for the Dallas Cowboys. Tyler Wright, Tyler Smith, Tyler Booker. Have we now officially entered offensive line? For this organization, it's been a problem. We've got a bunch of Tylers.
Yeah, but that's what they do. I don't know what they're gonna put on the back. It's like this gonna be tough in the old line.
All right. So, yes, yet again, my Dolphins are at the clock. And the Colts are next again. The Dolphins, I would say, like, pick like a linebacker or a safety because some of their good players they just signed or are gone with different teams or signed an offensive line. So Tua will not have a brain team.
Gives him a chance. He's downhill. You know, it's not going to be a lot of pull, get into space like we saw with Armand Membu. There's some other players who
Also, for those who didn't watch the draft, all the picks the teams have. Carolina chose the wide receiver for Arizona, which is a nice weapon for Bryce Young.
Playing and has some really good defensive linemen in Philadelphia. You got to Philadelphia. They got some really talented defensive linemen, including
All right.
Carter and the Giants. The Giants are just you need strong, you need a strong player to point the cap.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, I just got to throw that out there. Now.
All right.
The answer go in that direction.
I'm going to throw this out there. The Miami Dolphins are on the clock. If I'm not mistaken, Ian Rappaport was one of those guys that said, "Hey, Miami."
My game is not going to Panthers.
It's starting to feel like this is going to be a quiet.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see what Mark Andrews would go to the Panthers for. Ravens will never let the Panthers take that one of the best tight ends.
There's not going to be a whole lot of room for a lot of these franchises.
I think so. I think it's players. A lot of times the trades are players that are doing the talent and stuff that you want to go up and get the blue chip players. We talk about 5 or 6 blue chip players in this draft.
Yes, I do.
All of them still available. And so when you don't have those guys,
I just hit 10 viewers.
blue chip players, someone that
I mean, I wasn't expecting to hit like a lot of people since it was my first ever live stream. But whatever. So yeah.
It also depends on Miami's in a unique position because they need a safety and they need a defensive lineman.
What did I say? I said they need a safety.
It's not necessarily. It'd be very early for a safety and a little bit early.
All right, so the pick is in. All right, so now the pick is in for them. Let's see who they select. I guess we gotta wait. Well, this is what happens if you don't have ESPN or ABC on your TV. So hey, at least you get to watch the draft. Yeah, I get. Yeah, it does suck. It does suck. Hey, don't worry. But hey, don't worry. We're still here. We're still here. At least it goes by fast. Let me just close my door for a bit. Also, I got like a Jeremy Chin shirt. Went to his football camp before he went to Washington. Don't know where he at right now. Probably at Pittsburgh or something. Seems like a reasonable spot. They'll sign him. All right, so we're all right. Oh, God. I just hope I don't get copyright for this live stream. So, not viewers, huh? All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're here. We're back. We're back, y'all.
Draft Center, Green Bay, Wisconsin, the sites of the draft. Miami Dolphins.
All right, we are here at beautiful Wisconsin.
Time for the roundup presented by Roundup for Lawns. Yeah, we saw some movement here. Not at the top. The Tennessee Titans doing exactly what we thought, which was taking quarterback and Cam Ward, who goes from a 0-star high school recruit to the #1 overall pick in the draft.
And I'll show y'all the jackets if some of y'all missed them.
The surprise was Jags making that selection. They moved up to 2, leaving the Cleveland Browns at #5 when they drafted Colston Loveland to help out that defensive line. Let's take it back down to Green Bay.
Here comes Roger.
With the 13th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Kenneth Grant,
Wow.
defensive tackle, Michigan.
So we got another Michigan
We're
player.
going back and forth with this selection. And she told me, hey, safety might be the spot, but a little too early for that. They still go with
All right.
the front, though. Yeah.
Indianapolis, you're now on the clock. Atlanta, you're next. It's Arizona.
The one right before I began Kenneth Grant. I mean, it's just a matter of was Walter Nolen on the board for you? If yes, then you're going to pick him. If not, Kenneth Grant. You look at the roster, and it's simple. This is another one of these teams that is really desperate for defense.
All right, this is a big pick for the Dolphins. They're really going to use a defensive weapon, so that way the Dolphins won't stop choking on their big game plays.
Inside their building told me
Can't talk for a fan.
The best defensive tackle to come out of
Sorry.
out of this draft. And that includes, his teammate, obviously, Mason Graham, who we know is just a rock steady player. Kenneth Grant is big, he is powerful, and one of the coaches at Michigan said, Mason, just how big and strong he is. It's like a baby beauty cartoon back in the day. Once he figures out that he's so much bigger and stronger than the guys across from him at times, he's going to become a problem. If you Miami Dolphins, you're hoping that he can become maybe a death line type of point of attack. If they have a coordinator there, going to be one who understands what he potentially could have, and Grant, and if you think about that, remember.
All right, hold on, y'all.
I'll be back. It was a terrible thing about being able to run up and Josh Allen and
Hold
go second. And we have a guy that is stout and sturdy at the point of attack. Look at Big Man run. Big Man's going to get out there with those high knees. Trying to take it back on the scoop and score. I think that probably.
And I'm back.
Because I think two Michigan guys are off the board. What am I going to do with my mock draft for Harbaugh? I got Will Johnson to the left. That's it. The first round for Michigan guys in the Chargers. We still got a couple of questions. Hey, real quick here, spinning some of the draft.
All right, so we'll take. Wait, no. All right, so closing down the clock. Who knows how long it will take?
Give me the ball. Because if you can give me the ball, more opportunities get it. Hey, I'm about it. And so that's the push and pull. But he understands the most weakness of the team. The head coach that's going to retire as well.
Oh, the pick is in. The pick is in.
The 14th overall selection, we go to Commissioner Roger Goodell.
Chat, if y'all can, put a boo in the comments for Roger Goodell, please. I'd like y'all to do that.
With the 14th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren, tight end.
Wow, well somebody finally selected him.
Lance, you told me this is
About
the
time.
And he goes.
All right, Atlanta, y'all are now on the clock. Arizona, y'all are next.
I think
Cincinnati,
they
y'all
really
are y'all are
they
next
had two
before
big
Arizona.
needs. The big needs, I think, were right guard and tight end. And when Colston Loveland went off the board and the board started to fall the way that it fell, looked like Tyler Warren was going to get to the Colts. I thought it was going to be interesting to see if they would go guard with Tyler Warren. But Tyler Warren, to me, is an extremely safe pick. He is ultra competitive. They're very creative. Penn State was with how they used him. And it just shows his competitiveness. Like, what do you need? You want to just direct snap it to me, and I'll go
Wow.
get first downs on fourth and short? That's fine. I'll do that. He's got really good ball skills. It kind of gets lost a little bit. Some of the catches he can make. He makes difficult catches through contact. Very good in the combat catch situations. But what I really like about Buck is right here. He's willing to do the nasty stuff if he needs to, and the dirty work. And I think there's still a level that he can unlock. But as you know, it's hard to find those two combo targets.
All right, so Atlanta's now on the clock. Not sure what they're supposed to get since their team's fully loaded, but they can't find a way to go to the playoffs without choking.
So he's going to have to find another throwback number. He cannot be John Riggins in Indianapolis. We'll see, but he can come over. And he is a nice pick to help Anthony Richardson and or both. Fine, working policeman on the field. When you're struggling at quarterback, you want to find big.
Well, yes, it's nice to see Warren finally get drafted. Probably gonna be in the top
What I really like
10.
is that when you think about this, way back in the day, Troy Aikman had Jay Novachuk when he was a young quarterback. Yet Philip Rivers had Antonio Gates. I can't remember who the quarterback was for Tony Gonzalez. He was over there with Kansas City. So, I mean, they had a few, right?
My fault, no.
Alan Drake against Ben Green. No, he was gone by there. But having a good young tight end with a good young quarterback, it's a safety point. And that's really important because they're bigger targets. They're typically working, shorter areas of the field. And I think that's something Anthony Richardson needs. They've actually got some good wide receivers over there. They just added to it now with a closer target for Richardson.
You guys have been covering the NFL draft for years, and it is a year-to-year event because last year it was time we had 6 quarterbacks taken off the board in the first.
Gee, I forgot about Shemar Sanders.
A ton of noise by drafting Mykel Penix.
Atlanta would not select Shadur, I guarantee you. I can kind of see Seattle picking Shadur Sanders. Oh, Jack could probably head to the Steelers. All right. I guess the draft fights can be a little bit longer. Thank you for the 2 people who are staying in my live stream. I gotta sit down and wait for the guy to come back on. That was about 9 o'clock. So let's see who will be selected. All right, now we got up to 5 people. Last night I got like 11. That's like my highest, but hey, we're not all perfect. All right, there we go. That way you don't have to wait to watch the stream. All right, so we are back. We're back.
Back here on Draft Center live in Wisconsin. The Atlanta Falcons who are on the clock. Pick number 15, Lance Erline, Bucky Brooks, and Mike Yam with you. We just saw the Indianapolis Colts draft Tyler Warren. Just for context here, Colston Loveland, number 10 to the Chicago Bears earliest in drafts two tight ends and selected in the common draft error. So once again, this is a well thought of group here, and why not if you can extend to that too, guys?
About that, like being able to play a little baseball.
All right, we're back for the draft.
Quarterback stuff in high school.
Atlanta still on the clock. Still haven't decided who to pick.
I was going to say, that age range of like 10, 11, 12,
You might have had to beat it. Home plate maybe.
Unfortunately, I never asked my birth certificate and more importantly, at 15th of the Atlanta Falcons, that's what they want to talk about. People watching right now. What's the best direction this team can go?
We gotta get Rush. That's yeah. They got Leonard Floyd on a 1-year
They can
deal.
pick any besides the offense position.
Defensive line. I mean,
That's what I would choose. I would probably choose like a edge rusher.
They need some. They need some.
And what I should say, I'm a genius. And how big is now in?
3-4 defensive lineman, a 3-4 linebacker is one, position that people.
All right, let's see what the Falcons would take.
4-3. He's really more natural as a 3-4 outside backer. A Georgia player in Atlanta, high football character, good rusher, very fast. And that seems like it would be tailor made. Is Jalon Walker? If you take a look at what's on the board. Remember Jeff Walker takes over the defense coordinator. He had a lot of success in New York because of the Jets pass rush and what they want to do. You're right. We at some point in Atlanta we got to get back.
All right.
Down there, for training, and we were having this conversation. We thought there might be some improvement there. Right? Like that, showed that graphic a little bit earlier. Got to figure out ways to get to the quarterback. In reality, this is a gettable division. I know they're looking.
Wait for me.
Players away. From the Atlanta perspective, they thought that was the case for Kirk Cousins. It didn't necessarily play out that way. It's Penix now, and it is his show, and there's still maybe that happens with Kirk Cousins. So once again, Atlanta Falcons, maybe it's on the defensive side. Let's take it to Green Bay right now.
All right. All right. Here we're back on.
Oh, my bad. Apologies. Still a couple seconds away.
Oh.
Go with that selection. All right. So you say Walker. Hey, real quick, because I know you may work some cities. Georgia player in the same plane. How much of a factor is that?
No, we have really good players. They don't do that. Like if they did, then imagine how many good players they could have taken. And they could have taken Justin Fields and all the other guys. They didn't have opportunity to take home field tech. They know. They've seen them.
Okay, official. Let's take it to Green Bay.
All right. Let's see what Atlanta got. All right.
With the 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Jalon Walker.
Wow. Okay. So now he gets selected. Okay. Not gonna lie, Panthers should selected Jalen Walker, but hey, I guess another weapon, another wide receiver wouldn't hurt.
It just made the most sense. He can rush off the edge. Like I said, in Georgia, they were just used to about the character he brings to the game and the leadership. But what he is a very explosive, versatile piece. In today's NFL, explosiveness is key, and versatility is right behind it. If you can play, you used to be a tweener. Some people would call him a tweener. Other teams will say he's versatile. We can go out front in front with him. We can stack him or we can bring him off the edge. And I think that he's still going to get better playing linebacker. He still has to as a true.
All right, the Cardinals are now on the clock.
They used to say, we want to go rush. Mostly we want to get the quarterback. He gave Kelvin Banks a lot of problems when they went up against Texas because you just don't have guys that explosive. They couldn't very often. It's only 240 some odd pounds right there. So it's longer arms. It's about 33 inches. I thought this just made perfect sense for the Falcons. They've got to be happy with the last
Oh, one second.
It was running away. The game plan to allow.
All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry for the wait.
Great athlete, you're seeing it showcased right here. You start hurdling human beings, you would dunk on them, not to mention combine that with the ability to get after the quarterback. That's definitely a win. Terry Fontenot, you can see there, the team's general manager. Once again, I think shocking the NFL world a season ago with their first selection in Mykel Williams. This one more in line with what we thought. How close are they, at least from your guys' mind, based off of the roster spot, to really go and take this?
All right, that's good.
Mykel Penix becomes the starter, and we have opportunity to see how good he is and how good this offense is.
All right, we all good here. We all good.
Offense, we'll be like, okay, you got a great man, you got Kyle Pitts, they have other playmakers, Bijan Robinson, and this offense is ready to go. But then it comes down to the point guard, Mykel Penix. Mykel Penix plays and performs like an elite level player.
All right, so the Cardinals are now on the clock. The Bengals will be next. After that will be Seattle, then Tampa Bay. All right, so we got no crazy trade.
Also, I think
except when Cleveland themselves decided to trade second round pick to the Jaguars. Funny thing, if some of y'all don't know, the Browns traded a pick to the Texans before the draft even started.
As well, but this is it's a winnable division.
I forgot what it was about, but still, I don't know what the Browns are doing.
Because now they can have a trade with Houston to Cousins, maybe even undrafted. You never know. And we all, I said, what are you doing with Mykel Penix? Well, it looks like they knew what they were doing by having Mykel Penix that early in the draft last year. Now they're trying to get the rush. So, they keep swinging at certain positions, but you have to get the rush right.
Hey, real quick here, because you made reference to Penix a year ago.
All right, the pick may be in.
How did Penix in terms of your grades compare to the top guys that we're talking about?
That's interesting. I was actually lower. I actually have a lower grade on. I have Shador slightly ahead of Mykel Penix. Well, I was really worried about all the injuries for Mykel Penix. We forget Mykel Penix had a tremendous amount of. He was a fifth year, 6 year, but fifth year, 6 year, 3 season ending injuries. This was the top six. That conversation was different with Mykel Penix. I had him a little higher because when I saw him in this 1 year big game in Washington and the playoffs against Texas, he lit Texas. He was phenomenal, and that kind of lets you know what he potentially could do in that show. But that's a good question because it was such a deep quarterback draft last year. But Mykel Penix, to me, Shador's just on the outer portions of this year's draft. But Mykel Penix was
Sorry for the
but obviously the Falcons
cover.
like him a little bit more. I had Bo Nix was the only quarterback that I had. Only other quarterback.
All right, we had a conversation about teams that maybe go and move up. We've only seen one trade.
Oh,
Right now,
shoot.
clock. Just for context, since we were talking about quarterbacks, Buck, Arizona here, Cincinnati, Seattle, Tampa Bay, Denver.
Denver.
Quarterback, Pittsburgh Steelers. So when we start talking about
There's a whole Cardinals party here.
That's the only one we know. That's really
Arizona Cardinals. We know they got Kyler. Who's making their way to Arizona to help them out?
They better not select a quarterback. I swear to God. They should pick an offensive weapon, an offensive line, or Something on
With the
defense, like
16th
linebacker,
pick
defense
in the
side.
2025 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Walter Nolen, defensive tackle, Mississippi.
I knew they gonna pick a defensive tackle. I knew it.
So the Arizona Cardinals.
What'd I say?
Reinforcements on the defensive
All right,
side.
so now the Cincinnati Bengals are now on the clock. They better pick a defensive. You know what? Anything for a defense for the Bengals. I swear.
Watch
God damn it.
all the talent that you want as a interior pass rusher. Great hand quickness. Nice burst of finish. He does a lot of stuff at the point of attack where you can see him develop into a dominant play. We talk about the explosive knockback. That's all about the violence in the hands, the way these guys get there. Talk about the disruption. It's the ability to create consistent penetration versus the run game and the pass. And then he's just so athletic. There is so much that he brings to the table. The defensive line coach, man, he can sound like they had an opportunity for someone as talented as this. Yeah, he's the best defensive tackle in the draft. There have been two defensive tackles that have gone ahead of him, but on tape, those guys don't really touch him. Not in my opinion. Walter Nolen was.
All right, so the Cardinals selected Walter Nolen from Ole Miss, and now the Bengals now have an eye on the clock, and I hope they sign a defensive position.
Like the guy that they were considering with that pick. Which direction are they going to go? Yes, that stuff like that.
Wow, I'm shocked. We hit 11 people. I'm surprised. Thank you, everybody. All right, let me shut this off so that way y'all had to see the countdown for the draft. Mhm. I'm not gonna do all that. Oh, dang, 13 people. Maybe some people might leave. This is the farthest people I got. Hope I just hope some of y'all don't leave so y'all can give me a chance for once. Those 4 people. All right, we finally are under a minute till we head back to the draft. Bengals should select another defensive tackle or edge rusher. I'm not sure. Or a cornerback, anything to guard the receivers for the opposing team. I mean, to guard the opposing receivers. My fault. All right, so we got like less than like 15 seconds now, so this should be a good time to turn back on the camera. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are back to action.
Back here on Draft Center, Lucky Brooks, Lance Erlot, Mike Gamble. Here's a look at what we had so far from 16 picks. Not a whole lot of surprises at 1, 2, and 3. Maybe the biggest surprise is who was selecting at number 2 with the Jacksonville Jaguars pulling off the only trade that we have seen so far in round number 1, moving from 5 to 2 It's left the Cleveland Browns selecting Mason Brown, fifth overall selection. Currently, the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock. In our break, I was asking Lance and Bucky, hey, which direction does this team maybe decide to go? In my mind, it was sort of clear, like, hey, this team is struggle on the defensive side. And he also talked a little bit too about on the offensive line there, specifically in that tackle spot. Based off of the combination of need and available players, what's the best selection?
Man, they need a pass.
I'm going to sleep right now, but
Yeah, and there are a few guys that were Mike Green, who was the leader, the sack leader. He certainly would fit the view of
to be honest with you,
that's high.
bit
The next pass was the opposite of Kyle.
actually be
He's a good, I mean, we're talking about something incredibly productive. And I think a really, really good football player. So Mike Green would make a lot of sense here. They do need guard though, in a bad way. And you've got Gray Zabel, who's a very, I think, a pretty safe guard, and Donovan Jackson sitting there as well. So it could, I think Trench was a direction we probably did.
Zabel, just in case you're not familiar with North Dakota State Bison, guard, big kid too, just over 6'5", and certainly has some of the buzz heading into this first round of the NFL draft. The Cincinnati Bengals, is it going to be on the offensive line, or do they find that edge player that's certainly need in the worst way?
they need a defensive player. They need it. They need one right now. Because how else they supposed to win games without one? Bum, bum, bum. All right, all right, Bengals. Let's see what y'all got.
With the 17th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals
Hey, we
select
got a comment.
Shemar Stewart, defensive end.
Let's see defensive end. Well,
There, sorry, go for it.
There's the edge. I mean, there's a defensive lineman. There's the traits.
hey, what's up?
Although this is a
All right, Bengals selected Shemar Stewart edge rush from Texas A&M. I believe this is a good move for the Bengals. This is a great choice.
And the explosive with Shemar Stewart.
All right, now Seattle's now on the clock.
Rare explosiveness in his hips.
Now Seattle's got to choose carefully to what person they got select.
285 pounds for once. We was up 267. That's what it was with the combine. He played closer to 290, and it wasn't a problem. Problem we have with him, Bucky, is that everyone asks, where was the production with all those traits? I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, like we go fishing, we get a lot of fish, but we never bring a fish in the boat. So we have a successful venture because they man, you hooked a lot of them, but you just didn't get them, and I open up the ice chest, and they don't fish. There's no red snapper in the thing, so I don't know what to do with him. He might be able to turn all that potential.
All right, so we got Sam Darnold.
Man, he's gonna have to study the guy.
Yes, tight end.
That's nice though, isn't it? Because Trey is a technician. And he's a tactician.
Okay, so they're probably gonna need something. They already got themselves Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp. They give Kenneth Walker. But I don't think they need a running back.
So it's up to the to really go and try to get the rookie to we talked about Shemar Stewart though when we compared it to Green Bay edge rusher. Oh yeah, Rashawn Gary. Yeah. Rashawn Gary.
we can't hear good. Y'all can't?
So what was that? What is the secret sauce? Because he's not the only guy that we've talked about.
No, I mean that's the combination.
Can you hear it now?
It's going to the right place. It's having the right device. It's putting in the right scheme and those things. Sometimes in college guys don't play in the scheme necessarily highlights them. Shemar Stewart.
Can you hear it?
Oh yeah.
Yes? All right. Good.
He has pressures. He doesn't have the final production.
Good. Always wanted my people to be happy.
Well, formerly Jason Owe, now Adante Owe.
Pittsburgh.
He came out of Pitt State, had 0
Yeah,
sacks last year. Phenomenal
Okay.
tester. Ran in the 4.4.
All I gotta say is Pittsburgh gonna need Jackson Dart if their turn.
But he hit the double-digit sack mark this year. So
Jackson
sometimes it just takes a
uh,
while.
okay, they might need a third receiver. I'm not gonna lie, they kind of need another receiver. Now I kind of think about it.
Change the direction. He gets going so fast, and he doesn't gear down for body control, and so he'll run by a bunch of sacks. And I asked him, I said, Craig, is that something that can be fixed? He said, yeah, it can be fixed. But it's hard sometimes because instinctively, guys, instinctively, there's guys who just all gas, no brakes.
Interesting.
One of the things that he's going to have to understand is learning to dial it back a little bit because he's got so much in the tank. He's got so much explosiveness that he can go at 85% and probably get more done than at 100% because he controls it.
I'm looking it up, and I feel like in finally pulling up these numbers for Chop Robinson, it felt like it was a little bit of that same conversation.
Sure.
I tested really well. Production in terms of the stats, not necessarily there. Obviously, he's had a young career, a good start.
I think Seattle kind of need like a Marcus
This is
Thorne.
a team who, once again, has already made some moves. We know that Sam Darnold, not going to be Geno Smith, who's leading the charge. You think about some of the needs, offensive line.
Let's do that.
Brand new wide receiver room in Seattle.
There's gonna be some interesting players. You're going Seahawks, Bucks, and Broncos going to take. Broncos have a lot of people on this team.
So many different guys that you can go.
You like Zabel, actually.
Gray Zabel is certainly very simple. It seems like a little stone for Zabel. Really plays center together.
Let me turn it up so y'all get choppy here and get better. All right, Seahawks are now locked in their pick.
With the 18th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Gray Zabel, guard, North Dakota State.
Okay, wow.
You know what I would say this like
An offensive lineman. Okay, yeah, I forgot they need offensive lineman. They now signed a back-to-back national champion of the FCS team, Gray Zabel from North Dakota State. I believe this is a good pick for them. Tampa's now on the clock.
Very impressive doing the side. He's had a chance to start somewhere on that offense.
I mean, we all know North Dakota State has some good offensive linemen. Has some good players on the team.
And then I get to the Senior Bowl. And this is what you do in the process. Sometimes you're too low on a guy, you're too high on a guy. You get where it's good on good here at the Senior Bowl. And he was not out of place at all. FCS tackle, guard, center prospect. He'll be a center guard. He'll be a guard for Seattle. They have a desperate need for a guard right now. But to play center, might be able to get you out of the game and tackle if it's an emergency. But what he really showed, that was Josh Barber. Who was there. Well, that's a guy who's coming from Toledo who's Alexander who's going to go in the second round, defensive tackle. And Gray Zabel had great reps against all the time. I don't remember a bad rep at the Senior Bowl one-on-one, so that's how good he was.
I actually had an opportunity to get ready to talk to you and I did the Eastwood Shrine Bowl, and Tim Polisek, I had an opportunity to talk to the last quarterback, but I couldn't. Zabel's name just kind of popped up. Talk about an offensive line guy who takes a lot of pride in coaching those dudes up. So certainly not a huge shocker that we're talking about Zabel as a first-round selection with the Seattle Seahawks. They lost Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are on fire right now. We have Denver and then Pittsburgh, and it's
All right.
that will see your Sanders, maybe even the Jackson Dart.
So I got myself a nice Xavier Legette jersey. Got it this Christmas. Yeah, I just feel like showing that to y'all. And now we gotta wait till Tampa officially get their lock in the pick. So just we have to wait. All right. We're about to be back in a few seconds. All right, so we got less than like 20 seconds. So.
Back here on Draft Center, Lance Erline, Bucky Brooks, and Mike Hamlin, the Tampa Bay Bucks. Looks like the pick is in, which we will get to in just a moment.
A lot of pick is in.
Third division round for them. 10-7 campaign. Lost to the Commanders. Of course, Washington having just a ridiculous campaign based off of what we saw last year at this time, drafting Jaden Daniels. Time for Draft Buzz, presented by Goodyear. Trevor Lawrence, loving the selection, and why not a Travis Hunter? He's got a dude that's going to get a whole lot of reps on both offense and defense. Drake May, certainly a reason for him to smile. Maybe the best tackle in this class. And Bill Campbell, the fourth overall selection to help him out. Kirby Smart, like, yeah, my dude, Mykel Williams, the dude can ball. He is in the Bay Area now. San Francisco bounds. Defensive end.
So, guys, I'll be right back.
That all right, rejected will be.
Well, hold on. Let's first get over this draft pick.
Was that prime or was this those Suns?
Yeah. It does feel like we're waiting. And what the antithesis of what we saw a year ago in the draft, right? 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12. We're sitting here now at pick number 19, and the only selection was Cam Ward, that quarterback spot.
Maybe but it's also not only supply and demand, but it's need. Which teams needed a quarterback? A lot of teams address their quarterback situation in free agency, and so it gave them the freedom to take the best player available. And when we looked at the draft coming in, you said, look, there's good Tennessee, New York Giants at 3, the New Orleans Saints at 9. It was going to be a long wait. And then we're sitting here looking at 21 with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Draft Jr.
Didn't see anybody's guess but he or Jackson got one.
Yeah. To be clear here, like, you think Pittsburgh's taking a quarterback?
I'm going, he got favorites for no reason.
I don't know.
All right. We still got a couple more picks before we get there. Tampa Bay, let's find out who they selected.
All right. I can still hear good, right?
With the 19th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Emeka Egbuka,
Yeah!
wide receiver, Ohio State.
Good pick. They got Mykel Egbuka.
Nothing wrong. Look, this surprise. I am a little surprised, although maybe not necessarily about the destination. Although when I go to NFL.com,
Ooh, this is a good pick by the Buccaneers. Good, excellent pick.
Who, by the way, depending
Well,
on
this
the
is
time
about
of
to
year,
become my end of my stream. Tomorrow. So, see ya.
Rising in the process. I think once